Good evening and a warm welcome to Big Budget Business, where we aim to inspire young people to be and do more than they already are by highlighting prolific young people making strides in their respective fields. Today we're speaking to the founder of PCG Software, Mr. Letsibogo Ramadi. Mr. Ramadi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Big Budget.
Yes, It's a pleasure having you, man.
It's a pleasure being here, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for the platform.
Let's start with the background story of yourself. Tell us about Letsibogo, the individual.
Okay. So Letsibogo is an individual born and bred in Botswana. I was born in Muchudi. I hail from the village called Lecheng. It's a village in the central region, just 15 km from Palape. I did my primary school at LNU, and then I went to Tlokwen CJSS for my junior secondary. Then I went to St. Joseph's for my senior secondary school. I graduated top of my class there.
Oh, nice.
46 points. I shared that top spot with a couple of other people, in case they're listening right now. Yeah. So I then went on to study BSc, Bachelor of Science, at University of Botswana.
Okay.
And really, I've always been interested in technology. My dream was to see myself working for one of the big Fortune 500 companies, your Googles, your Bloombergs, and whatnot. So my goal when going to UB, I entered BSc just so that I can get into, at that time there was this program called the External Placement Program, where they would award scholarships to the top performing students at UB. So that was the whole plan of me doing BSc. And I managed to get into the top 15% of those students. And I got a scholarship to go study computer systems engineering in the UK.
Okay.
And I studied for a master's in computer systems engineering at Sheffield University in the UK.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, before I say too much, yeah.
All right. No, thanks a lot for that. I think quite an interesting backstory. We do believe a lot in, the educational aspect being important, for whatever people want to do in business and the like. It's good to always have some sort of training. Definitely. And so I take it you're very passionate about tech, innovation, 4IR. We'll get into all of that.
Yes.
So now, talk to us about Letsibogo, the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Where did this knack for entrepreneurship start? How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah. So I kind of entered entrepreneurship as an afterthought, right?
Okay.
So I went to the UK, I did my computer systems engineering course, and I was always, hell-bent on working for the big companies, right? And, I was doing projects that would enable me to get a chance at working at those companies. And during my final year, I ended up getting an internship at one of the big companies called Citrix Systems.
Okay.
So it's a virtualization and cloud computing company, one of the biggest companies in America. And I was a software engineer there for a year. And during my time there, I was really, satisfied at the level of work I put into getting to that. And I enjoyed working at the company, but after a while, it kind of got monotonous. It got boring. I felt like I needed a bigger challenge.
Yes.
And seeing that I had, skills that were needed back home, I decided, let me just go back home and see what I can do for my country. So I came back in 2018. And then I started off just working on a couple of projects in my room. And then one time I saw this email notification that there was a hackathon hosted by Botswana Innovation Hub.
A hackathon. Tell us more about a hackathon.
A hackathon. So a hackathon is like where they basically call on software geeks to come and sit in a room for 24, 48 hours and hack together a solution to solve a business problem.
Okay.
So in this particular case, it was Botswana Insurance Holdings Limited. They basically felt that Botswana youth lacked knowledge, lacked financial literacy. They didn't know about financial services available to them.
Okay.
So the goal was to develop a solution that would pique youth interest in insurance, in investment, in finances, basically, how to manage your finances well. So the task was to build a game, and we built the winning solution. It's called Mohwebi Quest.
Mohwebi Quest.
Yes.
I think I've seen it online.
You have?
Very much, yeah.
I hope you played it. Yeah, because it's a really nice educational game. It's basically a business simulation game whereby the player is challenged to start a business, very small business by the roadside, selling hot dogs. And the challenge is for them to manage their finances well, make good financial decisions in order to grow their business, and at the end end up owning a big conglomerate of restaurants.
Wow.
So that's what the game is about. So anyway, I diverged a bit there. That's how I got into entrepreneurship. Basically, that was a big project that it was a long-term contract, and it enabled me to gather together some resources, put together a team, and then after we built this project, we continued from there on. We kept on building solutions and entering hackathons, winning multiple awards throughout the years. Yeah, so that's really how I got into entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And so you're doing something that you're passionate about, obviously, and also creating solutions.
Yes.
I think we'll get into the aspect of your opinion of the uptake of innovative solutions within Botswana.
Yeah.
But for now, perhaps, let me just remind our viewers, we are actually live, and we are speaking to the founder of PCG Software, Mr. Letsibogo Ramadi. Please feel free to comment, and when you do comment, let us know where you're commenting from. We'd love to hear from you if you have any questions for Mr. Letsibogo or anything that you'd like to just throw out there. Well, we've already got a comment here from Mungongi Stephen. He says here, watching and enjoying the show all the way from Windhoek, Namibia. Big ups to this big budget. Big ups to this big budget business. This thing is going to be a movement one day. Thank you so much, Stephen Mungongi in Windhoek, Namibia, for that. So yes, when you do comment, do let us know where you're commenting from so that we appreciate you and everything. We'll also share a link that you can use to call into if you'd like us to call, speak, and see your face. Feel free to do that once the link is shared. Right, I want you to talk to us now about PCG Software. You did give us a bit of background.
Yeah.
You said you were entering hackathons. It came as an afterthought. But tell us about PCG Software. What do you guys do? What problems do you solve?
Okay. Yeah, so we are a digital solutions company. So, I tend to undersell the business. I tell people that we develop software, we solve business problems. But really, if you own a business or if you're an individual with an idea, a problem that you need to solve, we're able to sit down with you, find out what your business needs are.
Okay.
If you want to make more sales, if you want to improve operations, and we help you come up with a way to leverage technology to solve your business problems. Okay. Yeah. So essentially, we can develop software solutions end to end. Which means that we don't resell you any software licenses. Because, I found that there was a gap in the market in Botswana. A lot of businesses, they tend to, when they have a certain issue, they get software licenses, and you find that a company will have like 5 different softwares to solve various problems in their organization, and that comes at a very high cost to a lot of businesses, to government in Botswana. And we decided, you know what, let's step into the space and actually help businesses, help government, help individuals to come up with tailor-made software solutions that address their problems directly. So it's a solution that you will own. You won't have to be paying lifetime license fees and whatnot. So that's really what we do. We solve problems through leveraging technology solutions.
That's wonderful. And then maybe talk to us a bit more about the training aspect. I'm sure when you do develop these solutions, there's some type of training that you undertake for whoever's buying these softwares?
Yes,
or these solutions?
Yeah, so we sit down with you, we get your business requirements, and then we develop the software solution for you. And then after we deliver the solution, it doesn't end there. We provide training for the various stakeholders that you might have in your business. We train your people, and then we provide support.
Yes, support.
Basically, yeah. So software is never complete. You always need to keep on improving it based on feedback from your customers, based on your experiences with it. So we stay there with you throughout the journey and try and really make this software work for your business, because software, it's there to improve your business processes. It's not the business itself.
It's not the business.
It's not the business itself. So we're there to support you throughout the process, and basically that's what we do at PCG Software.
Wow, okay, that's great. So maybe without giving us figures, or we're not asking you to tell us about your profits and the like, just tell us about the uptake of technology and tech-driven solutions in Botswana. Would you say that the uptake is developing at a good pace, or is there still some resistance to change with respect to integrating technology in businesses in general?
Yeah, I think we're getting there as a country. Things are still a bit slow. The market is still a bit unreceptive of mobile applications and whatnot. But since COVID, people realized the need for technology, because now we're supposed to reduce contact and people have to do things remotely, and they've realized the value that software solutions can provide to that. So I'd say the uptake kind of ticked up since we hit this pandemic. And in Botswana, the main challenge, people are, buying smartphones these days. People are able to, afford smartphones to download mobile applications and use them. But we find that the problem is that, data costs are still high.
Yes,
yeah,
very
and
much so.
So when you develop a solution, you have to think about how people are going to access it. Are people going to be able to afford to use it? Because if people are using WhatsApp on a daily basis, they use it for free. What's to say they will pay to use your application, right? So it needs to have a very good value proposition for anybody to want to use it. So I think that's the major challenge, because data costs are really high and people can't afford to, even though they want to, even though they see the need to use them, they simply can't afford to pay for these.
Maybe just to reiterate your point there, in comparison with, let me say, other SADC nations or even other African nations, would you say, what could we do perhaps to get our data costs a bit lower and make all these tech solutions a bit more accessible to everyone?
Yeah, so I think the government is playing its part right now. They are bringing fiber to homes, so a lot of people will have access to Wi-Fi and whatnot. And the mobile network operators are also trying their part. They're kind of zero rating certain important applications that people use on a daily basis. So I think that, things will get there at some point. Right now, it's still a bit slow, but I believe that we're getting there. Compared to other countries, accessibility is, in South Africa, for example, you buy 5 gigabyte for 20 rand, and in Botswana, you have to spend upwards of 100 pula for that. So we're still far in terms of costs, but I think we'll get there at some point. Yeah.
No, that's great. Thanks a lot for that. Once again, let me remind you, we are speaking to the founder of PCG Software, Mr. Letsibogo Ramadi, and he's explaining to us about the uptake of tech here in Botswana, his organization, and also his entrepreneurial journey. Let me ask you a more personal question. As an individual and also an entrepreneur, are there any causes outside of tech and the like that you are passionate about? Are you involved in any type of social or community development work?
Yeah. So that's something that's very close to my heart. I'm not just running my business to make profits. A big thing about our business, if you have a look at the solutions that we are coming up with, there is an underpinning social element to it. So we want to improve people's lives. We want to make people's lives easier, make businesses do better, right? So there is a social impact element to everything that we do at PCG Software, right? I'm not currently doing anything in charity. But it's because, you know, I simply don't have the time. You know, we have to pay the bills at the end of the day, so it's quite busy right now.
Certainly.
But in the future, I want to, when we have the necessary capital and we are comfortable where we are as a company, I want to start reaching out to communities to teach STEM, to teach,
Yes.
to instill the knowledge that we have as a group of individuals. Because, you know, PCG, it means Power Circle Group.
Power Circle Group.
Power Circle.
I like
We're the
that.
Power Circle Group. We're a group of individuals with special set of skills that can actually solve challenges, life challenges, and do good for the nation. So we want to share this knowledge with people out there and give kids access to information. You know, because you know. A lot of the things are happening in Gaborone. We'd like to go out to villages and whatnot and teach children the impact technology can have on people's lives and, you know, really make a difference with the knowledge and skills that we have.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Let me remind you that a link has been shared in the comments section. If you'd like to call in and ask our guests any questions, please feel free to do so, and do comment on the conversation that we're having here with Power Circle Group software founder, Mr. Letsibogo Ramadi.
Yeah.
You did speak to something very interesting that you guys have created there, and that's Mohwebi Quest.
Mohwebi Quest.
Yes. I want you to speak about it again because it seemed very interesting when I saw it, very eye-catching.
Yeah.
And then tell us again what exactly it aims to do, this Mohwebi Quest, and how people can access it.
Yes, exactly. So Mohwebi Quest is a mobile game, right?
Okay.
So it's actually it's accessible on Facebook, on web, on mobile devices. So it's a mobile game that actually has the goal of teaching financial literacy, teaching people how to manage their finances well. And we do this through business simulation.
Okay.
Because the backstory behind how we came up with this concept is that, you know, there's a high unemployment rate in Botswana, and a lot of youth are jumping into entrepreneurship. They're
Very
jumping
true.
into starting their own enterprises, their businesses, and they go in without any, you know, financial knowledge, and you find that, you know, they bajela mohano, right?
Yes, yes.
They make profits and they spend everything that they make. They don't reinvest
Sort of
into
hand
the
to
business.
mouth per se.
Hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the goal of this game, it's based around that the individual starts a very small business, and the goal is for them to, through sound financial management and through managing their resources well, to actually reinvest into their business and buy certain things, and also invest and ensure their business assets and grow the business until they're at a point whereby they're running multiple, because it's a cooking game.
Okay.
So you first off start cooking hot dogs by the roadside. You move on to owning a small minivan that's going to be mobile and serving food in different locations. And then you move on into owning a restaurant. And then from then on, you are going to be owning a chain of restaurants that you're going to be managing. So the reason why we made it that way is that we wanted to teach finances from a very basic level, going up to, you know, Choppies right now, you know, Ram's financial decisions right now, they're very different from the financial decisions that somebody would take when they're running a tuck shop.
Yes,
so that sort of progression, we try to instill it in the game that way. So yeah, the game is really to teach financial literacy. So it can be downloaded on the Google and Android app stores. And you can also go on our website. It's called pcgsoftware.co. And there you'll see a download link for the game. And then you can also access it on the Mohwebi Quest financial literacy game page on Facebook.
Right. Let me ask you something else here. Personally, on your entrepreneurial journey, what would you say has been your biggest challenge, if you wouldn't mind sharing it?
Yeah, biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge right now is that we've proven ourselves. We've managed to grab the attention of the organizations that we wanted to target.
Yes.
Basically being government, because we believe that government is the biggest procurer of
the services
these
that you offer.
services that we offer, right? Exactly. So we've grabbed the attention, and we have shown people that we're good at what we do. But the problem is that people still don't understand the processes that go into software development. They don't understand how much work actually goes into building a software system. So we tend to end up having to underprice our work because people are not willing to pay us for our worth, right? So I'd say that is the biggest challenge right now. And it's a big struggle, because you find yourself thinking about, jumping ship and just going to offer your services somewhere else outside the country.
Because I'm sure the market is quite big for your services out there.
Exactly, right. We do remote work at the moment. You can actually work for a company in India from the comfort of your own home, right?
Wow.
So that's the beauty of software. You just need your computer and an internet connection, and you can work. So me being as patriotic as I am, I've decided to just live with the struggles and try and do my best to contribute to the digital transformation of the country.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Man, that's inspiring.
Yeah.
That's very inspiring, because a lot of people will be like, well, is it really worth it? But it's good. It's good that you've chosen something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And you're giving back, as you're saying. And I really like this Mokwebi quest, because in a sense, it's teaching us through business simulations how we can grow. So I'd advise young people out there who'd like to venture into business, maybe have a look at Mokwebi Quest and see if you would enjoy the game. I personally love playing games, man. So it's something that could teach you whilst you're also enjoying having fun.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you were recently selected to represent Botswana on the Village Africa Hub.
Yeah, Village Africa,
Bootcamp.
Yes.
Bootcamp, yes, in partnership with Market Players. Yes. So tell us a bit about that experience. What was it like? And interacting with, I know there were a few other Botswana who were chosen, and interacting with South African entrepreneurs. Tell us about the experience.
It was an amazing week. I'd say it was a life-changing experience for me, even though it was in this short period of a week. The stuff that we got exposed to, the things that I learned during that, it really changed the way I think, the way I look at business, right?
Wonderful.
So the Village Africa Bootcamp, it's run by this organization called The Village. Basically, they are an entrepreneurship development organization.
Okay.
And Katlego Mokgethi of Market Players, she happened to go to South Africa. She went through the entrepreneurship development program.
Wonderful.
It's called the Chairman's Entrepreneurship Model. So basically, this organization is backed by this billionaire businessman who basically took his experiences over the years doing business, his successes, his failures, and he distilled it down into a framework, which he called the Chairman's Entrepreneurship Model. So basically, it's a framework that they teach entrepreneurs how to go about this entrepreneurship journey. And really the goal of the Village Africa Bootcamp is to have 1,000 entrepreneurs. I forgot how many years they said they want to have it by, but have 1,000 entrepreneurs having a turnover of $10 million US.
Wow, that's a significant amount.
By a certain time point. And the idea is that with that sort of capital, with that sort of power, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
And the focus is on black entrepreneurs, right? So they want us to empower Africa, empower Africans, right? So we went there for a week, and basically they were showing us what the organization is all about, and they gave us a taste, a sneak peek of this Chairman's Entrepreneurship Model. And I'd say, the thing that really stood out for me during the trip was when they invited us to come and be a part of the very first annual general meeting. So they during our visit, they launched a new wing of their business called the Village Partners.
Okay, all right.
The Crystal Partners.
Crystal Partners.
Crystal Partners Hub. So they invited us to come and be a part of the whole launching process, right? You know, it was really amazing, intriguing for me to see the formation of such a big organization. You know, the things that they did there, you know, they announced the company organogram, they announced all the new executives, and they invited all the different departments to come and present their strategy towards meeting that goal, which was to make a turnover of $6 million by the end of 5 years.
Wow.
So it was just amazing to see the formation, the crystallization of a business. And what was intriguing about it was how simple the things they were discussing were. I mean, they were talking about things such as meeting plans. How often are we going to meet? Who are the point of contacts? You know, they were just discussing how they were going to go about in actually reaching the strategy of reaching the goals of making that turnover of 5 million. And it really struck me because as a small business myself, I kind of overlooked things like that. Processes in business. Processes are very, very important.
Yes,
it's very important to set up the structures on how you're going to go about running your business and how you're going to get from point A to point B.
Certainly.
For me, I started off my business just winging everything.
Yes,
and, you know, I just recently formulated my HR policy. But I've been employing people for almost 2 years now.
But there wasn't something structured
there wasn't a structured thing.
Yes.
We were just winging it. And I found that as the team grew, it got really hard to manage certain things, and we ended up having to come up with an HR policy. So it was important for us to actually witness them doing that and seeing the importance of actually talking about those little things, because if you ignore them, they're going to come back and bite you at some point. Right? So, yeah, it was a really amazing week. We met lots of successful businessmen. We networked with them, and you know, the whole point of that trip was to entice us and to get us to know what they're all about. And in October, they're going to be inviting us back to come and have a chance and opportunity to join the Chairman's Entrepreneurship model, so that we go through the 9-month program of learning how to go about entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's great. I like that they have a follow-on to what they had introduced you to. They're calling you back in October to see how you can further grow and engage with them.
Exactly.
So you definitely encourage young people in business to look for such opportunities for growth.
Most definitely.
Wonderful, man. Thank you so much. We are speaking to founder of Power Circle Group Software, Letsibogo Ramadi, who is talking to us about tech and the software solutions that his enterprise has locally and internationally. You did say that you do remote work too.
Yeah.
All right. Just a quick one. What was the last inspirational book that you read?
Inspirational book?
Any book that you read that you would like to share with people?
It's called The Lean Startup.
The Lean Startup.
The Lean Startup,
Okay.
So basically it's a book about, you know, as a startup, you don't want to get bogged down by too many things at the very beginning. So before you actually start having a recurring income, you don't want to have too many employees onto your business. So the Lean Startup is all about running your business in a lean manner.
Okay, wonderful. Right, let's go out there and look for the Lean Startup. Right, Mr. Ramadi, let's culminate the show by asking you, how can you be reached? I know you shared your website, but any other places that we can contact you to get the services of Power Circle Group Software? Yeah,
most definitely. So our Facebook page is at PCG Botswana. We also have all our social handles, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's PCG Software Botswana. So just check that out. And also our website, pcgsoftware.co, not .co.b, just .co. And our offices are located at Botswana Innovation Hub in Block 8. So that's where you can reach us in person if you want to come and discuss anything tech-related, software-related. If you have any problem that you feel could be solved using technology, we're happy to have a discussion with you and help you out.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think just one more thing. You did say you studied for your master's in computer engineering, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that journey with respect to the education.
Yeah.
How was it? And would you encourage someone, because Ghana, this is at master's level,
Yes.
right? And I'm sure it was very engaging, taxing also, but would you encourage young people out there to take the educational aspect seriously too?
Yeah. So computer systems engineering, it's a very challenging course, right? So you need to be prepared to put in the work, to put in the hours. You need to be passionate about it, first and foremost, right? Because there are going to be times where you just feel like, this is not worth it. I need to sleep. I don't have time to study. But it was a tough journey for me because, I was away from family, I had to learn to live in a new country, but I took it in stride. I really, really took in that experience, and I'd say I enjoyed it. So I definitely encourage anybody who would be interested in studying computer systems to go study it. So computer systems is like a combination of software engineering, electronic engineering, and robotics, from where I studied. So it really gives you a well-rounded perspective of engineering. So you know a bit about hardware, you know a bit about electronics and circuits, and you also know about software. So you can put all these things together to actually build something useful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Mr. Letsibogo Ramadi, the founder of Power Circle Group Software. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this platform.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. Before we leave, we just need to go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
All my enemies will suffer my wrath, but those of my household will enjoy my embrace. I refuse to let my weakness get the best of me. Be more hard and less attack.
Right, so today's 2-minute tip, we're going to introduce you briefly to a concept or technique that you could use in your business settings to basically assess your team dynamics. And this concept or technique is known as the Joe Harry window. So I encourage you to go out there and research about the Joe Harry window. What it does is it lets you view individuals in different aspects, but through 4 particular perspectives, and these perspectives are also called quadrants. So this window has 4 quadrants, and the first one is called the open area or the arena. And in the arena, it will list aspects that are known to you yourself and aspects that are known to others. The second quadrant of the Joe Harry window is called the blind spot. And in the blind spot, there will be a list of aspects that are not known to you yourself, but may be known to others. So you can discover a bit more about yourself by looking at the blind spot. The third quadrant is called the facade. And the facade is where there are aspects that you know about yourself particularly, but that others might not know about you. So you might want to reveal what you would like to through that facade quadrant. And the last quadrant of the Joe Harry window is called the unknown area. And this unknown area lists things that you are not aware of yourself and that others are also not aware of. So as you assess your team dynamics and the relationships within your different organizations, let's try and research this aspect, the Joe Harry window. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for your time. From me, BigBudget, and the team that makes it happen, Black Network, Moana Pictures, it's good night and God bless. And never forget that you were born for so much more.